that, we were like toying with the idea of either they burst him in the Ravage or they lock him down after the Ravage, and this hero actually does both of that, right? He provides burst with his Phantasm and the CC that they need, because it's just not going to be enough if they're only depending on this tide.
5 seconds
Also,
remaining.
really great versus Enchantress, can blow her up. Really great versus Snap, can blow her up. And the only issue that this CK could potentially run into is just Amar's Arena into Kisses. Then his Phantasm illusions will die very quickly. But we saw how well Gladiators play the Vision game. I'm sure they're going to be prepared for any kind of Mars initiative.
There's the most amount of strength heroes that I've seen in a game in a very long time.
Overall, last pick Timber. That's when we toyed with the idea of coming out for either team. Right? He got it overall.
Is it a? Do you like it? Is it good?
It's a good pick, yeah.
It's a. They do not have the damage for this Timber Saw. It looks like.
It's a very good pick. I mean, I think Ember can just play. Like they are putting this Ember mid actually.
Oh, okay. So the Ember versus the Huskar. Maybe it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be quite difficult for the Ember Spirits, but I feel like I think the Timber just makes it so there's too many things that you have to deal with. Like now it's like, okay, we have to burst Huskar, but we also have to deal with Timber Saw. And now I'm like, Phantasm is dead every fight. Not even with without Kisses, the Timber's able to clear it.
Also, you had Io
10
playing really
remaining.
early on in the mid lane behind Boom last game, so maybe they're discussing a similar kind of
5
idea where the
seconds
Io comes
remaining.
to just provide the backup like post level 5. And Ember can actually just play on his nuke spells and try to rotate and kill the Timber Saw. They do have to address it somehow, and their best bet was the Ember Spirit. I think they got gotcha'd a little bit there.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, we did talk about it, but it just came out so confidently too, right? I think that the way Gladiators play though is really intelligent, and if there is a team that can get around a gotcha pick, it's going to be them.
Okay.
But it's looking a little bit rough for me.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think there's just too much. It's too many things that you have to deal with. Like sometimes it's like, we need to gank this Huskar. We need to gank this. Oh my God, Timber's taking our towers. Timber's also doing too much. And then I feel like that's where the, you mentioned the Kisses versus Phantasm is something to clear it. Now they have the Timber all the time to clear it in all stages. That may have been a gotcha pick, yeah.
All right. Well, overall last pick Timber Saw for Team Secret might just propel them into a third game of the series. Let's find out together with ODPixel and Tigov.
Thank you very much, GBS, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of Team Secret versus Gaming Gladiators. T, what do you make of the draft this time? Do you think we're going to see a bit of a closer game? Neither of these teams are going to be run over in the speed and style that Gaming Gladiators were able to do to Secret in Game 1?
I just like the fact that Game 2 Secret's like, you got us with the Meepo Game 1. We're going to do some, swappery, situations here so we can get back at you. We can't let you be the only ones being creative. And we've now got Sumo on this Mars, so we've got kind of like a double off lane with like a carry style of Huskar. Yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
Yeah, and it seems like there was sort of an element with the draft where Gaming Gladiators very much picking up heroes that can cut down or at least hit hard into a Huskar, but then in doing so, it did leave that avenue for Secret to come out with this last pick Timber, right? And looking at the things that Ice is against, he's going to be pretty happy with what he's managed to pick it into this time.
Yeah, no, this is a pretty filthy Timber pick. It honestly has the same weight as the Meepo did in that Game 1, right? Like, you see that Timber, you're like, oof, because Gaming Gladiators lineup is all about physical damage, right? Yeah. It's the bugs of the Weaver, some maybe Corrosion or Deso on Ember, CK naturally on top of heroes like the Gush from Tide. You want to poke them from a distance, and now you have this Timber soaking up all of those critical spells that you need to be able to cleanly kill a Huskar. Suddenly, if you miss 2 or 3 of them, Huskar's probably going to survive, right? So there's no threat. So yeah, this is a Timber Saw that, if played in the correct way, which of course Ice will be able to, execute that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Unlocks, Huskar to have such a nice time.
The battle begins.
So will we get around these runes? Tofu did try and come over for the steal. Not quite able to get it, so 2 for 2 on the bounties. Now see how these lanes go down. So the mid lane, as the panel was talking about, I mean, obviously Gaming Gladiators with the Huskar in mind, they do decide to still keep the Ember mid. Is it not as bad as it was, or are we going to see Boom indeed struggle a bit in this matchup?
It's going to feel, I'm going to say slightly nicer.
Top lane. Yeah, he gets taken down before he's able to get Shikuchi back online. Easy first blood for Secret up there.
Yeah, just a Scatterblast slow into then a Rebuke, yeah. goes down. But no, in terms of mid lane, Ember did get a couple buffs in regards to, you know, the cooldown of Slight being higher, the damage being slightly higher, but it doesn't really help in the grand scheme. Once this Huskar has the Helm of Iron Will for armlet, you'll be tanked enough to survive through that chip damage, and it will be a matter of you get given whatever farm Nisha wants to give you at, let's say, level 4 or 5, but it's the early levels. If maybe Boom makes a nice little, you know, play, outplays Nisha's aggression, he could survive a little bit longer, but no, I expect Huskar to have a very nice time here, unless Boom makes some, you know, mechanically good outplays.
Yeah, well, what about these side lanes? Do you think anyone's going to have a tough time here at the start? Oh, top lane, in fact, maybe Ace. Okay, he's getting brought down very low. They won't commit for the kill here as Tofu cooches across the two of them.
Now, this top lane, you know, you're looking for the answer of what's difficult, and it is this top lane. Both sides have kill threat. Be it when Weaver gets 2, the swarm into a gush, you then Sakuchi on top and kill them. Yapsor could easily die if he's out of position. And on the flip side, we've already seen it happen once to Tofu. It's that cookie into Scatterblast, Spear of You. A lot of kill threat in top lane.
Now, bottom lane, they're going to get the catch on Puppey. He's going to try and run, but Celery, he's got the damage. They'll take him down. Same time up on the other half of the map. They are able to take out Yapsor.
Yeah, and it was, as mentioned, it was the gush into then, yeah, just chase down. You got to be super careful in these side lanes. This is, other than, I guess, maybe secret off lane. Nice with the replay here it is, yeah. He just a little bit out of position, gets bugged stuff, and falls down. But other than the Timbersaw lane, when Timber hits like 5-6 plus, he has kill threat. All the other lanes, very volatile. Anyone can kill anyone. It's not a moment where it's like, oh yes, Gaming Gladiators will easily be able to survive. No, there should be, let me rephrase, there should be death occurring in all lanes. This is a very thirsty draft from both teams in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
No, Celery, he might be in trouble there. Puppey chasing him down with a heartbeat. Okay, he's able to get into the tower, but that was a lot of damage there coming out from Puppey. So far, CS on the cause. I mean, mid lane, only a few denies ahead of Boom, Nisha. Other than that, it's close. 17-5, 17-1. So
Yeah,
Boom
so
getting
far,
a good
so
amount
good.
out of the lane, yeah.
Again, when Huskar slowly builds up the levels, that's when he can start pressuring. He has gone for a 1-1-2 build. So focusing more on his own regen, be able to survive through the slight spam. He's not going for an aggressive build to try and fully bully out Boom. But yeah, this is just he will hold the lane static now at this point. You would like to see, or you expect to see Huskar slowly build that lead.
Top lane. Again, another attempt there from Gaming Gladiators, bringing Sumail down very, very low. They are set up with the salves. Sumail's farm still continues to come in freely top. He's having a good time. In fact, nobody really missing out too much on the CS. Pretty close across the board here in these first 4 minutes. A little bit of a pause here on Duracho, but you know, the mid lane in particular, you know, as you say, Nisha is going to get to this point where it is going to get increasingly hard for Boom to step up to the wave. But
yeah,
what do you expect to see Gaming Gladiators do about that? Like, do they bring any supports over towards this mid? Does Boom just have to look elsewhere for the farm as this lane gets harder?
I think it's difficult to bring heroes to mid unless Nisha's like underneath the tier 1 tower, because he's already got, you know, the 15% magic resist when he's low HP, running tanky. Ace is gonna go down top as well.
Careful, Tide.
And yeah, I think there's just so many resources being used on the side lanes that making a trip to mid to try and kill what already is quite a tanky Huskar, it's gonna be difficult. So if anything, if you're gaming Gladiators, you're looking at Ember to maybe rotate into that top lane, kill off Sumail at a catapult wave, take that top tower to then unlock the map, because you know that you will be losing your bot tower at some point to this Timbersaw and Enchantress. So you have to make sure you at least mirror that early aggression so the map is even. Like, if you put focus on mid, you won't take a side lane tower, you'll lose your own tower, and then you may or may not be able to kill mid. So it's a very delicate part of the game right now for Gladiators. It's already a 2k lead for Secret.
That bottom lane. Oh, make the attempt onto Dyrachio with the impetus damage. Quite close. Celery is eating him up, but it's not enough to save. And Puppey able to finish off the job. Now turn towards Celery as well. Tether to the side, but there's the chase down, and with the impetus of Puppey, you pick up both kills.
Yeah, it is a splendid amount of damage, honestly. That is one of the enjoyable things about Enchantress. You get the boots, you just throw out the impetus, walk back a little bit,
Radiant's bottom
and
tower
support. You can
is
see it
under
from the damage
attack.
here. Support's doing a nice little...
He's going to come in with the cookie and the scat blast from the side. He's going to try for it. That was a cheeky attempt there. He doesn't get away with it. It was close, though. It was definitely worth a shot there from Yap, but didn't quite have the damage to burst Ace.
That's one of the moments where you'd love to have team comms, because, you know, Sumo, he's like a second late on the spear. Do you think Yaps will just quiet
Radiant's
and goes,
middle tower is under
I nearly
attack.
got him? Or is it more of like a, boys, I'm going for it? That is so close for a cheeky solo kill there.
That's one of ours.
Well, still a lot of focus around this top lane. They've got 3 members here gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, and this is the strength of when you go Huskar Timber in the final 2 picks of your draft. They're heroes that if play... Oh, actually...
CK ganking mid lane. That's probably not something that Nisha was going to expect. But the Remnants coming out, they've got the burst. They take
Radiant's
down
middle tower is under
Nisha.
attack.
Not the sort of gank that you expect every day there in the mid, but a gank that was super effective against the Huskar.
Yeah, and this is a... he didn't have armlet at the time of the engagement, but he's, you know, playing to his limits, going underneath the tower, and nowadays, cores or carries will TP if the mid is out of position. This isn't some Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, Void Spirit
Radiant's
style
bottom
hero that's going to
tower is
quickly
under attack.
disengage from their aggression. Huskar, if in a bad spot, you're going to probably get jumped. So yeah, nice little read there to get 1 free kill. Now it's going to be infinitely harder with the armlet.
And now Boomer's going to try and move to the top. Already, that's a move that's going to put Ace in a lot of trouble. As the arena's down, Nisha's able to step in, they take out the tide, and with that move, Boom and Celery won't stick around. They'll get themselves away from Nisha.
You can kind of feel the awkwardness right now in this state of the game. Like gaming Gladiators, they're going for the moves that are presented to them, but they can't set anything else up themselves, right? They don't want to run into a Timber, they don't want to run into a Huskar, and if they smoke, they'll probably bump
Dire's
into
middle
an
tower is
Enchantress
under
with a
attack.
creep, or like best case you kill off a Mars, right? Like this is a very weird portion of the game for them where they need to make sure that they kill the freebies. For example, Yapko being positioned here,
Radiant's
and
bottom
they're just trying to
tower
be
is
as
under
efficient as
attack.
possible, make the stacks, get some gold, be ready for a tower defense, because yeah, this is not an easy part of the game to play, because nothing's being, you know, obvious to you, you know.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Secret, like they're starting to force gaming Gladiators into a position that Secret found themselves last game, where it's very much like, you know, what do you do? You know, what is the plan? Things are starting to crumble. You already know it's going to be hard, especially because of how the enemy team's been able to end up that draft. You've got these 3 heroes, this 1 hero that you're probably never really going to be able to kill. Well, what's the game plan? It's going to be a very difficult position for Game Gladiators already here early on.
They're going to have to lean on the fact that IO at least provides some farming accelerant towards the CK. Again, this isn't a CK which is, wow, what a great CK game. Like, I personally, I'm not a fan of CK into Huskar, just because of the Huskar charge that allows you to, you know, get that disarm during the stun, the inner fire. So if he jumps you, the illusions get on top of you. Even if you're stunned, get a disarm, you're naturally going to be able to get a BKB off, or, you know, armlet, etc. Like, you're really good on that spot. And then, of course, the Timber Saw. So this is going to be a CK that has to get armlet, BKB,
Dire's bottom
like a
tower is
Bloodthorn
under
to
attack.
silence the Huskar during that stun, and then play the game. So they really need to try and maximize this early farm. But again, it's not working out well so far. They're going to hopefully need to try and connect some dots, maybe get a, you know, sneaker Roshan or something.
Coming top, but the arena's already down. The kid's there as well. The Ravage will come out, but it's Game Gladiators again. Look, Dracho, he will manage to TP out of there. Ace, he'll be the new focus with the cookie on the right side. He comes in on top of the tower, takes him out. They close the gap on Celery. They've got the stun there as well to stop Celery's escape. As Secret just reacting immediately. Again, after Duracho, he had a good TP out last game. He's able to get himself out of that one there. But still, 2 more casualties on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Secret continuing to show that right now they're the ones ruling the game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, there is a specialty in being able to, get those TPs. Like, he is a TP specialist at this point. That is, 2 for 2 on clean mid-engagement departures. Yeah, this entire time, I think the only one having a nice time is Tofu. He's been down bottom for like 3 minutes, I think.
Now
hitting the creeps. Is he completing the vessel? Yep, he will be going vessel.
All right.
So at least you do have, one item coming into play. That, of course, very good against the Husker. Early on, pre-BKB, you can, mitigate some of that healing, put him to vulnerable spots. So I love the fact that they have given Tofu the space. Gives them like a very small window to play around, because this Husker is going second item BKB. He's not messing around. He wants to play a clean game of Dota. None of these pub Huskers, which is an armor into halberd and an ags, and then whoops, let's go third, 4th item BKB. No, he's going straight for it.
Very early on already getting to the stage where Ice can kind of plant himself anywhere, and knows that there's not a whole lot the Gaming Gladiators is going to be interested bringing in against him when he shows in the lane, even at this point, because they just don't really have the tools to kill him.
And again, we mentioned disassembling, right? Look at Ice. He's got the Vanguard himself.
See a bit of a poke onto Puppey, but Puppey has got a lot of backup here. Ice and Yapstor making sure the Gaming Gladiators can't try and go for the Enchantress any further.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nice.
This is one tanky boy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's clicking on this Timber going, guys, we can. Like, when the vessel comes out, potentially it's gonna be like a vessel.
Oh, here we go. They're gonna try something with the Phantasm. Good of an attempt they can make it. It's not looking great, and that Ice just Timber changed straight back into them. He's got the Chakram out, the Kiss is covering him as well as Duracho. He's gonna get taken down very, very low. He will survive for now. But as you can see there, Ice, he doesn't care. He's like, all right, that's cute. You tried to kill me. Well played. Because he knows he's just not going to die.
And the Weaver just completed Vessel, but cool, great, you have Vessel, you have 0 charges. Gaming Gladiators need to find a pick-off, get Vessel charges, and then get another pick-off to then... Yeah, exactly, like it's a 2-pronged assault, and right now Secret's not even giving them the entry to the first one. But no, I love the fact that players are considering disassembling more. Of course, it's Dragon Lance, of course, was like previous patch, current patch favorite. Vanguard is now becoming quite into meta. Yeah, this will most likely be disassembled for a Lotus Orb later down the line with a casual Vit booster, maybe Aeon Disc or something, but that's many items away. The early damage is being mitigated. This, the CK illusions, the slight spam, it's cute. Not saying rush it on all heroes, but for now. Alright, here's the smoke. This is they need to find a kill. They need to find something to get the momentum going their way, because right now Secret has dictated the pace of the game from, minute 0 to now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yapstor. He'll be the one that they find. And he is someone that they can kill, of course. But they have to pay a price for it. The male has been out of walk around, dropped down the arena, Stellary's gone. Dracho trying to... Maybe get back in on this. Fantastic damage from Ace. Ace just gets it on the action. 3-man damage. Now maybe they can take Ice down. They can. The crits are there. Gaming Gladiators. The fight, it's all theirs.
Ooh, okay. Some nice psychological tips come in too, going for Puppey. He was farming top lane, so potentially these tips are a meaning of why aren't you with your team or something. I don't know.
I mean, but that was a great move for Gaming Gladiators. They take him down. Secret weren't expecting that. I mean, at the start, Yapstor goes down really quickly. You feel with the strength that Sumail and Ice have, maybe Secret can still do it here because they've been doing so well so far. Nisha tries to come over, but they can't. And this Ravage, it just destroys them.
Yeah, it's also the fact that inside that arena, they kind of got double slight chains on both cores. CK is able to disengage, and they aren't able to keep disconnecting the fight away from, let's say, the outpost. They're fighting in an awkward position of both T1 TPs available, outpost TP available.
Radiant are
So
scanning.
Gaming Gladiators are able to get there quick enough, and they weren't able to get any damage. It was just nice control the entire time. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Secret to give that type of opportunity to them because of how well the game started, but yeah, Gladiators, they find that brief opening. Again, it was such a marginal around it.
He's hanging around at about 20% HP. I mean,
Some more tips are flowing, that's for sure. No.
yeah, it seems like the Secret maybe starting to overestimate their abilities to survive on some of these heroes. As Gaming Gladiators, they are getting the kills. I mean, it's even now in the kills, 9 for 9. Secret still with a bit of a lead, but definitely shaken up after that last move. As Gaming Gladiators proving that they can still bring down even the beefier heroes. We're going to see them look towards Ice top, but they bring him down here. This is going to be doing very nice. He's still not easy to do, as he's getting low, but he's got the chain up the vessel. He's bringing him down, and he's got nowhere to remove it, so they can do it. They're killing off this Timbersaw. They're slowing down Ice's game. We see Secret, they're going for Roche, but Gaming Gladiators, they are making their way
Dire's
over.
top tower is under attack.
If they can get involved in time, it's getting very, very low here. Keep it covered, Nisha, they'll cut the BKB, finish with the Roche, grab the Aegis, jumps over straight away towards Sarah as well and pick up the 2 kills. They got the kill on Roche, they're Gaming Gladiators. And of course, Nisha getting the Aegis. That's what was important to him. Maybe they can take it out of his hands. They're bringing him low with the Spirit Vessel. Jump forward from Ace. They are. They're able to take it away straight away. That's the Aegis gone. Let's see if Ace and Boom can get out of this one. Nisha, hiding over Boom. And up inside, Nisha diving in for this. They've got the Ravage. Ace able to keep Boom covered and safe there. Make sure they can't die. Now Nisha, he's just going to die. The Vessel's out. He's going to get punished. Again, I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they're outplaying Secret with these moves. Secret trying to go for these threats, and they're not getting away with them. They're hurting them big time. Puppy goes down. Yapster also going to die as Ace jumps in, smashes him in the face. They're holding their own here, Gaming Gladiators and Secret. They're getting shaken up big time.
Yeah, they're just picking the fight so beautifully. Getting the pick off top. Timbersaw, he was so close to the Lotus Orb, and that would have been a game changer. Having a Lotus Orb, getting rid of that Vessel charge, he probably wouldn't die top,
Dire's
prolong the
top tower
fight.
is under
But yeah, we
attack.
get to see here.
Look at this.
Dire's
Yeah, it's just the fact that Gaming Gladiators, like CK and IO both dead. Secret go for the we are ahead, we have the advantage mode. But it's this overextension, the Ravage from the tree line, the Weaver quickly TP's tier 1, chucks in a Vessel. I've got about BKB, like Vessel completely removes his hero from the game. And I think the fact that Secret has fed away so many Vessel charges, it's giving
Dire's
his
top
Gladiators to
tower
play with
has
his
fallen.
confidence. And kind of unsung hero has to be Boom. I say unsung, it's an Ember Spirit of slight change. It's just very good. He's non-stop chipping them down, and yeah, they're just playing really well to punish the kind of confident Secret is trying to have in this game.
A fine celery up here. So a little bit of something to try and get Secret back on track, but not the big kills that they were really hoped for. They want to try and get these cores. As you say, Boom taking over that top spot, well on the way towards the BKB after Maelstrom. It's going to be very, very hard to catch. I mean, already there isn't a huge amount of setup and control for an Ember Spirit.
Yeah, like this is the type of game where Secret, their draft presented them with the opportunity to play a dominant laning phase, quickly take away Aegis, and get to the BKBs first. Like in most competitive games, the team that gets to BKB first or that earlier timing is able to occupy more of the map. And because Secret has stunted their own play with some of their positioning and where they fought, they've now, if anything, fallen behind. This Ember Spirit, when he gets to BKB, he's always going to be able to isolate heroes. He's going to make Mars think defensively rather than on the offense. And Ench Snap, they're not going to be able to contribute that much. So I'm a little bit worried for Secret because they kind of rely on Huskar. He has the BKB, sure, but he needs to
Radiant's
get Aghanim
bottom tower
to
is
start
under
pressuring
attack.
that aggression. And they now need to probably slow the game down a little bit, or at least go for that big 5-on-5 until Huskar has Ags to get that taunt, to get that way of, you know, surprise, we now control the fight.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Well, they get the tier 2 tower down bottom. As Gaming Gladiators choose not to get involved in that. Close to having the blink on Samaya. And they'll have a bit of a better option and chance of catching Boom. At least starting the fight on top of it. Let's see what they do with this. Maybe they want to go for some sort of smoke move. Puppey looking towards Tofu, but already far enough of a distance away that they don't want to try and jump for him.
But I give props to Ace again. Like, this is a game where he started in a very difficult lane. Like, he was dying a couple times. He wasn't getting that 6 for the early Ravages. He was struggling a lot. And I think a lot of off-lane players on tired in this type of game, they'd have had maybe 2K less net worth, kind of falling more into that 3.5 role, just enabling others to farm. But no, he has done a great job at keeping up the net worth and making sure he scales into the game. Like, soon to have Axe complete, blink Axe on the Tidehunter. But again, the start of game he had is pretty impressive so far for me.
The jump in the mid, straight away followed up on the Snapfire's kisses. They take out Tofu.
Radiant's
Jacho
middle tower has fallen.
will get himself out of it, so it's just a support kill, but it does get them the tower on top of it. So Secret continuing to make some progression on the map.
And that was the blink reveal from the Mars. So now Gaming Gladiators are aware that this Mars isn't going to be doing the BKB Desert build that we saw in the previous game. It is more of a enabling utility style Mars. Potentially he might go for right-click style items later on. But I think it'll give some confidence to Gladiators, just knowing that if they kill Nisha, that's the biggest source of damage. They're smoked up right now. They have vision on him as well.
Oh, Nisha's low. He's in with the chains. Nisha will try and jump away to the side, but they've got him with the chase. That's Nisha gone.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The rest of the members of Secret do their best to get away from Gaming Gladiators. Puppey, he may still be
Radiant's top
found.
tower is under
Just
attack.
joking. Get eyes on him, he can. Finds him in the trees, stuns there. Gaming Gladiators, they'll pick up Puppey as well.
They've calmed down on the tips though. Like, when the game was kind of in a losing state and they started coming back, they were relentlessly tipping Puppey.
Radiant's top tower
But
is
now
under
they've
attack.
calmed it down a bit. I think they've got the game back in their hands, so they don't have to use tips
Dire's
as a
middle tower is under attack.
psychological mechanism of helping the comeback.
Oh, for sure, yeah, letting the players do the talking here.
Yeah. No, I get props to the vision in this game. You know, Celery on the IO, this is his ward he planted in the top side of the jungle on Dire side. This is the ward that enables that smoke to allow them to rebuttal the aggression of Secret once again, to get the necessary pickoff to keep playing, you know, in the face of Secret. He could be up, of course. Halfway towards an Ags on Ember Spirit. Weaver close to an Ags as well. Tidehunter now has Ags. Like, yeah, they've hit their stride. This is...
without a doubt, Gaming Gladiators fully recovered after Secret taking a couple of rough fights on Gaming Gladiators' half of the map. Bringing the game back to even and having a very, very strong fight to play with themselves. They get the jump on Puppey. Doesn't last more than a second, so Mel's TP'd in. See if they look to hunt for him in the trees.
This ward is doing everything.
Still trying to get involved in this action, but it's so scary for them. Gaming Gladiators holding the high ground.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Surely they have to give this up. The fact that they haven't dealt with this high ground, they have this high ground vision. Yeah, okay, good. If Secret tried smoking into this area of the map, it would have been probably the end of the game for them. Just the way in which they have Ravage, Gush, into kill, reset, control Roshan. So
Looking for something here, Secret, that keep trying to approach Gaming Gladiators, but really feels the Gaming Gladiators are very prepared for any sort of jump, especially when around Ace. He has a Ravage to throw him with. We're going to see some else start to open up onto the side. To take down Ace, and see that save, but Frozella, oh, he's going to be able to take it at the side of time. Celery, he's able to do it. He gets Ace out of there for safety. And now, Gaming Gladiators, they can look to try and poke back in. But they'll force out the BKB from Nisha. Ace still with the Ravage, of course, at the ready. Secret's got to be careful now. They've got to run. Boom. He's not going to let them. He's ready to get into the Ravage. Steps it down. Ace. He'll put the Ravage down and tickle the four of them on the edge of it. And they take down these guys. They've got the stun locked down over towards side. Double kill for Duraggio. As Gaming Gladiators, they'll continue upwards to the high ground. On top of Samel. Triple kill for Duraggio. As, I mean, this is a phenomenal stuff. See, I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they're even going to get the cleanup. They may even just get the Rampage there already. 25 minutes in Rampage, up in the high ground at Team Secret. I mean, my goodness, Duraggio. And Gaming Gladiators, they just outplayed Secret completely, T. This is top stuff.
Yeah, this is just
Radiant's
a
bottom
performance
tower
of
is
when
under
they know
attack.
they are strong, they play in the areas that they
Dire's
have
top
strength,
tower
right?
has
Like, they don't
fallen.
need to be playing too much of the map. They posture aggressively, they have high ground vision, and they protect it.
Yeah.
Secret, you know, 2 times in a row, they've tried entering this area, but they don't have the sentries. They don't have the D-ward. They don't have any way to control the fight. Compare that to
Look at this
Gladiators,
Ravage,
they're well
T.
prepared.
Oh.
And that was a banger Ravage.
It was.
Yeah, clean. Whew. Yeah, just Secret. They had the momentum in the early game. They had the tools to get into a commanding position, and just moments of relaxation. Gaming Gladiators have time and time again just capitalized on it. And I think this is the perfect example of it, where this single ward, this single high ground ward, has allowed them to play with such ease, confidence, and enable that 25-minute rampage.
Yeah, I mean, 25-minute rampage against the team that still had all their tier 2s up. You're doing it in their base on the high ground. I mean, Duraggio's going to be feeling very, very good for that one, but he's, you know, he can't get carried away yet. There's still a game to win. So let's see if they can keep it going in Gaming Gladiators. They get the Aegis on Duraggio. Boom, he's got an arcane ready to play with, and he's in with the BKB straight away on top of Puppy. On top of Nisha. Nisha puts the BKB, but he's so low. Duraggio getting in on top of it. Jumps to the side. Nisha trying to get away from the CK, but he can't. Duraggio runs him down. Yet again, Gaming Gladiators more than easily taking these fights against the Secret. As you know, the tables have turned. It feels like now at this stage, it's Secret that's running out of options. They're now down 9k. Duraggio is just popping off. I mean, he's well on the way to getting a silver edge, and at that point, suddenly these heroes that are from the draft, and I think from Secret's perspective, they expected to be unkillable. They're just no threat at all. At this stage, with the lead and items the Gaming Gladiators have, they've got the answers.
Yeah, just look at him.
Look at Duraggio's farm there. It's
Dire's
almost
middle
straight
tower is
vertical.
under attack.
The climb up on the network. That's the kind of carry you want to have on your team there.
Oh, but no, yeah, this
Dire's top
is
barracks
just
are
stellar
under
stuff,
attack.
honestly. And Secret, you just kind of touched on it there. They want to be the unkillable
Dire's
heroes. They
top
pick
barracks
heroes that
has
are
fallen.
disgustingly tanky early on, and that
Dire's
can
top
just play like
barracks
that.
has fallen.
And if you don't have that moment in the game
Radiant's
where you
bottom
get to
tower
exploit
is under
this
attack.
cleanly, you lack the control. Like, they just don't have the stuns, right? Sumo, he has all the initiation, all the team fight pretty much for his team. Outside of maybe Husker Agnums down the line, but yeah. In Gladiators on the hand, you know, Celery on his IO, always, you know, being able to be in position, relocating saves,
Radiant's
mechs,
bottom
kills,
tower is under
damage
attack.
galore. They are in their stride as they sweep across the map, killing anyone who wants to even leave their base.
Yeah, godlike on Duraggio. Oh, Yapsaw. Better run.
Oh,
A little bit of mercy. Duraggio set for the tower.
Dire's
More money in the
bottom
bank for
tower
him. Level
has fallen.
20. Silver Edge done as I say. He's on the way towards the Aces. He's still got 3 minutes to play around with this Aegis.
and these are the type of games where I think I was checking the pro tracker of competitive pubs, and Husker has a 54% win rate against Chaos Knight, because the expectation is with equal farm, sure, they probably can go toe-to-toe in their own different forms of who initiates first, and this is the prime example of a CK with the lead, with the BKB, the Silver Edge, you know, an extra, you know,
Dire's
7k
middle
gold.
tower is
You
under
can just
attack.
slaughter this hero. Yeah. So tanky, so strong. So ruthless as well with the eye. This is... Oh, this is rough. I'm thinking of ways Secret can come back into it, and unfortunately in the back of my mind I just keep getting told there's just not enough stuns, there's just not enough explosiveness for them to do it. Maybe post Aegis you can play around offering up the Timber Saw, going for the fight, but yeah, it's...
And they go for Ice there. They put Duraggio over. Ice, no problem whatsoever. whatsoever for Gaming Gladiators to take down at this stage. Comes back over here with the relocate with Celery. He's just being brought down low though. Secret holding their own in this fight as they take the Aegis out of Duracho. Tanisha's very low. In fact, he might just take down the Spirit Vessel's going to cause a lot of issues. Duracho's ready for round 2, and actually it looks like Secret they're not ready at all. There's double kills there for Duracho. He's going to look to try and start taking them down one by one. He might even be dreaming of another rampage, this man. He's not going to get the chance to. Either way, Boom's the one to take the kill on Yapzor. But still, as a team, taking out Secret, bullying them back to the fountain.
Dire's
And pop the
structures are
fortification.
fortified.
But even in moments
Radiant
like that where it looked like
structures
maybe Secret could do something, punish the Aegis, they really couldn't. They could take Duracho down once, but they didn't have any sort of chance of doing it twice. As Gaming Gladiators down the mid lane take a second set of racks as Secret continue to struggle here, down 18k against Gaming Gladiators, who have just taken complete control. Refresher Orb now done on Ace. These huge items continuing to fly out for Gaming Gladiators, and the progression for Secret just grinding to a halt.
These are some filthy pickups. You got the Skadi now on the Ember, so you're gonna be able to non-committal get that HP reduction as well.
Yeah.
Still the Vessel, of course, on the Weaver, and now you got Refresher. Ace doesn't really have the mana right now to support this, but doesn't matter.
Oh, here we go. Secret
Gonna have to
coming out with the smoke. With the spear onto Tofu. I mean, they're so scared about how they go for it. I mean, just straight away with Ravage on top of Nisha. Nisha's out. They first count Tofu in the arena, but they lost 3. The 2 supports fall, and Puppy is going to tap out. He's had enough. GG is called. Gaming Gladiators. This game 2 is theirs. And of course, with that in mind, the whole series 2-0 here to Gaming Gladiators against Team Secret. And this really, it was just great stuff across the board, really, right? See, game 1, Gaming Gladiators, the draft, into the strategical maneuvers.